What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of For the Love of Bodybuilding. I'm your host, Logan Shults, with my co-host, Ian Powell, and today we've got my boy, Liam Kraus on. I hope I pronounced your last name right. I don't think I've ever actually said it out loud.
No, you're
Kraus.
good. You're good. That's it.
That
Exactly.
bald, shiny head.
Mhm.
Today we're going to do some predictions for the Olympia. I think that we kind of do these predictions anyways, so we figured we might as well hop on and do them. So let's not waste any time. Let's just fucking do this.
Let's just do it.
Are both of you guys on Fuad's app?
I am.
I watched the podcast today, and if you're feeling fairly good about your predictions, he said the winner for the Olympia Open is a $500 hostile gift card.
Baby. I mean, I can show you.
That'd be pretty nice, you know.
I can show you my predictions that I've got on there.
Probably do that. Honestly, I've been slacking on Flat's podcast for a long time now.
Yeah.
Long time. What is it? What is it? RBP? Like, what is it?
realbodybuildingpodcast.com.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that while we do this.
All right.
Upload it at the same time.
Well, you'll probably have to sign up and everything first. So, all right.
Well, we got quite a bodybuilding show for this weekend. I think all across the board in almost every division is going to be pretty exciting. I think so. I think it's
yeah, dude. It's going to be
bodybuilding is in a really good spot.
I keep saying that, man. I think that bodybuilding is in definitely the best spot that it's been in decades. But I would argue that we're like
most competitive it's been since the 90s.
In a place, yeah, I would say we're starting to rival the 90s, in my opinion. Now, obviously, I think that if we didn't have classic physique and we didn't have 212, that lineup would be a little bit more stacked. But I do think that classic physique at least is a good. I think it's going to end up being like a stepping stone class, kind of like Urs used it. Yeah, where you're allowed to slowly grow and maintain a waist and create a living, and then when you're ready to move over, you move over.
Yeah, I mean, not just with Urs, but I mean, there's been a couple other guys, who have came up like that Fabian guy. He missed weight and then was like, "Fuck it, I'll just do open at this show," and he got fourth. So I mean,
yeah,
I think you get this big misconception, at least with the bigger guys, like that these guys are significantly smaller than the open guys. And obviously there's some areas that, they are, but I mean, we just saw 2 times this year that these bigger classic guys can hang with the open guys.
Yeah.
And I think they bring things that open is missing currently, like just presentation and stage presence. I mean, I think those are 2 of Urz's big things, that are, I believe are going to push him, up higher than what, maybe his physique, his tissue, deserves. Just, he just is flawless when it comes to presenting his physique and really maximizing his time up there on the stage.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess I went ahead and put my picks in because I already had them in the bro chat.
Fuck.
So I didn't have to bounce back and forth between things, man. This just makes it easier.
Damn, bro, what the fuck?
So okay. I'm gonna let you guys go 1-1, 2-2, 3-3.
Sounds good.
So Ian, who you got for 1?
Okay, I think I'll be here and I'll just be the first one to take Nick. I'll take. I think he's chomping at the bits, and I think somebody with that type of mindset is extremely dangerous, and he's shown that like he's ready. He obviously he has all the muscle in the world, right? He's got what it takes, and I think if Samson doesn't come and peak absolutely like he needs to be, like Mel needs to peak him like he did last year, right? He's one of those guys that's like the balance between the fullness and the hardness is such a fine line with him because he's got those round bubbly physiques where Nick already kind of knows where he needs to be, and he's had 2 years to be healthy, and Kyle's got him in a really good spot, and they've already trialed some few looks this year already. I really like the momentum in Nick's weight, and it's a matter of time for him to actually get an Olympia, and I think he's gonna if not win the show, he's gonna put on a fucking hell of a show. He's
Yeah.
gonna make it really fun.
You know, had you have told me even 5 years ago that Nick Walker would be in the talks for winning an Olympia, I would have said bullshit. I would have thoroughly disagreed that that'll never happen. And now I've got him second.
He makes you a believer.
He does, man, and he's done such a good job of putting on so much tissue and coming in so hard and like
refining it. You know, he has all the tissue. He's refined the look.
Yeah. And I mean, still, like, you know, he doesn't have a good front double bicep, and he doesn't have a good, you know, his front lat spread. Like, those are weaker shots for him, but every other pose is like lights out. Yeah, it's like it's hard to beat him in a lot of those other poses. So, all right, Liam, who you got?
I've been kind of bouncing back and forth. You know, as much as I love Nick and I really do want him to win, I think Samson is going to win again. And I just think, you know, the past 3 years now, it's been the same thing every time. You know, Samson needs to get leaner. He needs to get leaner. He needs to get leaner. And, you know, based on his guest posing at 6 weeks out, I think he's, you know, he will show up at his leanest. And I think, you know, he's plenty big where you don't have to worry about, you know, him getting pulled down too far and him looking stringy. I just have a hard time believing, you know, a guy with 24-inch arms is ever going to look fucking stringy. And especially if you hear him talk about, you know, his prep and stuff, like even when he is getting like killed with a diet, like he still looks super round and full. And I just think he's got the least amount of weaknesses. And I think if conditions right, and from what I saw 6 weeks out, I think he'll be right where he needs to be.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a Samson we haven't seen before. But then again, I also think we're going to see a Nick, a Derek, and potentially a Hadi that we've never seen before. And then we've got some in here that could upset the entire show. So, Ian, who you got for second?
Okay, I'm going to throw another wild card out there. I'm going to go ahead and put Derek at second.
You lose. A terrible pick. All right.
And I'll go with Nick for, you know, just for all the reasons Ian listed him for first. I just don't think it's going to quite be enough with the legs.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like between when you're looking at Derek and Nick, it's like if Samson is peeled to the bone this year and he's shredded, which I think that we've seen a couple of hints that could be the case. You know, I don't foresee him losing, but wilder things have happened. So who knows, man?
You can put Samson in third.
I'm surprised Ian didn't put Hadi in third. I mean, Hadi in first.
I do love Hadi. Yeah, that's my preferred physique for sure. I like that fucking granite hard ass look, man.
Yeah,
I hope that he matches that backside with the front. If he does that, it's going to be. I have a hard.
I just don't think he'll ever win again. Unfortunately, I just don't. I don't think he's just gonna. They're just not gonna give it. I don't think so. Even if he's lights out, like it's he still finds some way to get down to that third and fourth spot. Like he just does.
I think the only caveat to this, and I've heard Fuad and them say it a couple of times, is that they bring up a valid point in that Hani is only working with him. And so all of his attention is working with him. So we'll see this year if that makes a difference or not. If Hani was truly able to give everybody his best, or if we're going to see a different Hadi or not.
Yeah, and I know it's been mentioned on the podcast too, but you know, Derek's made some remarks in regards to you know, coaching from last year to this year, and I don't think Hani. I really don't think Hani wants to lose to Derek. So I'm gonna go Hadi in third.
All right. So obviously I've got Samson, Nick, Hadi, and then Derek in fourth. And this is so bad, but I have Derek in fourth, even though I think that he probably should be in the talks to be higher. And I think it comes down to I don't like his imbalance from upper to lower, and then also he just is kind of annoying, man. his fake persona is it drives me a little nuts, and I don't think he's solid enough for me to be like, yeah, Derek's gonna beat these guys, So, who you got in fourth?
I got Hadi, but I'm over here doing the real bodybuilding thing. I actually have Instagram links to the
Yeah,
profile, so as I'm doing it, it
it
actually
makes it
pulls it up.
easy.
So
Yeah,
that makes it super easy. So yeah,
yeah.
I got Hadi in fourth.
All right, Liam.
Oh, I kind of want to just be different because I'm looking at your list here and I see a lot of the same stuff.
See, I'm
Uh,
trying to be different too, man. Shit.
I'm gonna go with something wild, I guess. I'm gonna put Martin in fourth.
Ooh,
That's not
Uh,
too wild. He's been there before.
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
but beating Derek.
yeah, last year, there was I realized Derek wasn't quite at his best, but there was tons of talk, that weekend of Martin pushing Derek and being very competitive with him. I think yeah, it worries me because I feel like Martin has been so hit and miss, with peaking. I always think he's in great shape. I think it's just a matter of him peaking correctly. Obviously, he nailed it last year at the Olympia, but then a few months later at what was it, Pittsburgh, he kind of missed the mark, and he wasn't really up there with Derek and uh, Nick. But I'm gonna bank on it and say that he's gonna nail the peak, and he's just got so much balance, and I don't think he loses any size to Derek, and I think there's some things of Martin's that are just better than Derek's, and I think it's just apples and oranges, really. So
I mean, yeah, I think in Martin's case, when it comes to peaking, I think that he might be his worst enemy. Yeah, I think that he gets those adrenaline dumps, and that's what is causing it, right? Like, he was having a great time at the Olympia. There was, no expectation, and he was kind of shocked to be there, right? And so I think that we saw his best because he was calm and he felt his best, right? And that stress was low and stuff like that, right? And then, at Pittsburgh, there's a little bit more expectation, and so I think that that's where that happens. So I think that if Martin's able to keep a good head above him and keep calm, I think that he's in a great place to potentially, yeah, work his way up into the top four. I don't foresee it happening personally, but I think it is a possibility.
yeah, and I think hopefully for his sake, he's been awfully quiet, all prep, and maybe that's by design, so he doesn't have that
Yeah,
external.
I think that's a mental thing for him for sure. So he's not trying to put any pressure on himself, because a calm body is going to be able to be peak a lot easier. And obviously, it's hard to be calm when you're battling for $600,000. So
Yeah.
there's a lot on the line, right? And I think for him, he's still obviously very young. I think he just kind of gets in his head, like you guys said. And obviously, if you're in your head and you start panicking a little bit, you start sweating, you start peeing, all these things start kind of going on. You start kind of losing that look. Whereas like last year, he was just like a kid in the candy store. Like
Yeah.
nobody expected him to be a fourth, and he started to come alive and pop a little bit more here. So I think he's still going to be in that that top 6 spot for sure. But here at 5, I have Bruce. I think he's one of my favorite bodybuilders. Him and Hadi, so I have to put them side by side because I want to see them side by side. I want to see those two in the most muscular just go back at it because they have such very similar, hard, like very drastically like dense physiques.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to compare very, very well. And even still, then Martin in that same kind of discussion too. They're all kind of in that same discussion where I think he'd be interesting to see how he battles amongst those 3 guys because I think he's obviously right in that 4, 5, 6 spot. Depending if he's all cool and calm, but I think Bruce in that spot's going to be. Since we've been waiting to see him for how many years have we been waiting for Bruce to get over here?
Yeah, I think it's like 3 or 4 years.
This is
3
fourth
years.
qualified, yeah.
Yeah, like insane physique. Like he deserves, to finally be here and show this. And he doesn't seem like a guy that gets too worked up. So I think he's gonna come in here like a mercenary, and he's gonna be ready to go to battle with these guys. So.
You know how much of a hard ass you have to be to prep for the Olympia for, every year and
Still not go.
not even have a sign that you're going to even get to go, and he did it every single year. That I think that speaks a lot about like him, and him and Hadi are both Iranian, right? And so I see a lot of like the same like attitude. They're very, uh, just like matter of fact.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fifth, I'm gonna go Derek.
Yeah, the only thing with Baruz, and I've got Baruz in fifth as well, even though I do think that he is potentially a guy that could work his way up a little bit higher. Um, I think the problem with seeing that is that we haven't seen him next to any of these guys. And then I also think that in his back double bicep, his back is a little bit lagging in comparison to like his glutes and hamstrings.
Well, he's got the fucking wellness glutes going.
Yeah, dude, his glutes are insane. So I personally think that just kind of throws things off a little bit. And I think that's going to hurt him when you're talking about guys that are this complete. But I think that it's going to be enough to beat guys like, Martin and Andrew, in all honesty. So, Ian, what you got? 6.
6, this is where Martin goes. Yeah, I'm in that same kind of boat where I think he's going to be battling this 4 through 7 spots. Again, he has all the aesthetics. He has the density. He has phenomenal shape. I mean, you could arguably he's like one of the prettiest physiques to really look at. And he knows he doesn't have the biggest size, but he has that crazy shape that just looks so pretty. And as long as he's able to be relaxing, I think if he has a good time out there, he can easily push into that top 4, top 3 spot. Even he's anywhere between that 3 to 7 spot for me, just depending on how things go.
Martin's also one of these people that like when you're looking at him in pictures and on video, it doesn't like. We've had the pleasure of seeing Brett and Martin train at the gym lately, and there's Martin's detail is really seen in person, to be honest. And I think I've seen a couple of guys like this over the years, but like, yeah, there's like the detail doesn't show like through a camera lens for Martin. For whatever reason that is, I don't know. But
what does show is how fucking round he is. Like every single body part, man, is like it's like he took like a an air compressor and just put it into every single area. It's crazy how round he is.
Yeah, it's very hard to have that kind of bubbly look as a white guy. It's just like it's crazy. But yeah, he has that deep like even when him and Brett are training, Brett has that roundness, but he doesn't have that crazy detail that Martin has. Martin has those just gnarly striations that are like inside out, like
just a little bit more graininess to everything.
Yeah. He's just got a little bit of that extra detail to his physique. That's just genetics. Yeah.
All right, well, who you got, Liam?
I'm gonna go Baruz in 6th. I just think he's balanced, and I think he's got enough to take on Andrew.
All right. I've got Andrew in 7. I think, in my opinion, Andrew is like, I think it's stupid to put him this low, but it's like, the reality is we haven't seen him really put on a ton of size and nail his conditioning in a couple of years. I feel like there's still something missing, and it's 20 pounds of muscle tissue to fill out his frame. But he's still so good that he's still going to place high.
Yeah. You kind of have to put Andrew there. I just don't see him anywhere outside of that.
The problem is that you can't see any of the other guys beating him.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's kind of like the stopping point.
Yeah.
He's that end of that top tier.
Yeah, I feel like
that true competitive where he can jump into 4th to 3rd randomly.
Yeah, and I think once you get past this point, like because in reality, in my opinion, 1 through 7,
pretty locked in.
I don't know that
he's the anchor for sure.
Yeah, I don't know that Baruz, Martin, or Andrew can win. I don't see that happening, but I do think that any of those guys have the potential to break into top 4 if somebody else is off.
They can get that first call out. They can get in that top 4 call out.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think anybody below that is going to do that. I would be really, really, really shocked if they did.
I'm really curious to see how they do these call outs, because like we just said, I think that's top 7 are, pretty much locked in. I'd be surprised though if they brought all 7 of those guys out for that very first call out. I mean, I could see it happening, but
yeah,
somebody's going to be left out, is what I'm trying to say. Usually, at the Olympia, it's top 6. And then I'm gonna also do Andrew. I just he's not consistent enough. Like we just said, he could be he could probably be as high as 2nd or 3rd. Honestly, but I just think there's so many things that bother me with him. It's like the fucking like lackluster effort. While he's on stage, like it's like he almost doesn't want to be there. And then like the knock on him has been like these 2 side poses. Like everybody like says these 2 side poses are horrendous. Like he's not doing himself any favors, and it's like it hasn't changed.
All right. So this is where we're gonna start disagreeing, and this is where we're gonna. This is where the debates begin. And I'm even looking at this. Like I might need to change one of these. I think I need to move Tonio up a little bit.
This is where it gets fun.
I only did to 15. Now we've obviously got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more names on this, so 20 guys. But all right. 8. I've got Regan. I've got high hopes for him. I think that shape wise, he is one of the best out there.
He's pretty.
That he's got one of the best back double biceps, and I think that his muscularity is finally to the point to where it can be competitive. It's just a matter of like conditioning and peaking. We'll see.
I disagree. I just think from the front, man, like he's awesome from the back. Even a couple. He posted a couple side shots the other day, and I was actually pretty impressed. From what I remember, I don't follow Regan too closely. He's along that influencer style. I don't need to see those grimy pullovers or push downs. But
Liam's a Regan hater. Sounds like.
But I just think from the front, man, like. He's kind of got like the same thing going on with like Derek. Like the big knock on Derek, is like the lack of detail from the front, and especially in the chest, arms, and shoulders. And I think that's Regan's issue still, in quads as well. So
what the fuck, dude? What's going on here?
He's changing them all.
I moved Tonio.
So
I believe Tonio actually beat William earlier this year.
He lost to William and Dubai by one place.
Tonio did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. That was in July.
All right, I gotta change it.
I thought Tonio looked. I thought he was good enough to battle up with Baruz and there. So
all right, who's got what do you got for 8?
Basically, any of these guys, if they peak differently or wrong or better, you could see Reagan could be 8 and he could be fucking 12, 14, 13, 14.
Yeah.
Any of these guys can shift up in this. So I think that's why it makes this bracket pretty fun, because this is like who's going to show up, who's going to get their peak. And I think who has insane momentum, who has been peaking very well, who's just getting better, who has one of my favorite coaches. No, I love him. We're going to hold off on him. Jordan is absolutely. When I first saw him last year, he got overlooked in one of the shows. When I first saw him, and I was like, dude, who the fuck is this guy? And then the next show, they immediately put him like right in the middle. They're like, oh yeah, we fucked up last time. We left him in the second call out, and I feel like he's been gaining momentum. He has massive shape, massive structure. Like he's hard as nails. Chris Tuttle has absolutely improved upon his fucking look. Like he is going to come. He's got the whole like sport thing where I tell everybody in sports, that someone who's got that momentum, when you get that momentum, and especially in bodybuilding, when you really got that, start nailing that look, he's going to come in hot, and I think he's going to shake some things up, and I think he's going to be very competitive for sure in this top 10, anywhere in this 8, 9, 10. I think he's original.
I think Jordan is very, very good, but there's something about him that I'm not the biggest. There's something about his look that I'm not the biggest fan of.
I think
don't get me wrong. Go ahead.
I think he's just missing a little bit of arms right now. I think he's got that, he's got a
That's all.
little.
That's all
He's
I
got.
can see is his triceps. Maybe is like his arm depth.
He doesn't have it as bad as you and I, Logan, but he's still got that white boy arm syndrome, just in
Yeah.
just in the triceps.
I'm glad I was left out of that. Jesus Christ, Jesus.
I am gonna go in eighth. I'm gonna go with Urs. I think, kind of based off what
I like
Ian
that.
said about Jordan, I think, he's just got so much momentum right now. Everybody loves Urs, and I know, that's not supposed to matter, but if it does, and like I think I stated earlier, I don't know if we were on the recording yet, but I think he's just got these intangible things, coming from classic, and stage presence, posing, that are just that most of these guys don't have, and I think it's really going to make him stand out.
Yeah. So I think that, can y'all see this?
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
there you go.
Instagram? Okay. So I open this up and I'm like, fuck, man, Jordan is really good, right? Like, this is insanely good. And then you see, like, this side leg is crazy, the back, and then I feel like we're lacking a little bit of depth here in this back double. But then we go here. This is where it is for me. This abdomen, I'm just not a fan of. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I'm not a fan of this look here.
Yeah,
And I think that's what throws it off for me. And that's where I struggle to place him higher.
I mean, if you see the caption though, he straight off the plane, post workout,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
depending
got
on
food
how
and fluids in him. You know.
exactly. So I think, but that being said, obviously Olympia prejudging, that's traditionally at fucking
It's
1 o'clock
late at
in
night.
the morning,
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I definitely see it's late. So
Mm-hmm.
if that's not in check, I thought he I'm pretty sure he has a hernia, and he was going to get it fixed, but I, but
This is where I think that the Chris Tuttle experience is going to come into big play for Jordan.
Chris
He's
is
going to be able to really. Chris is a very, very obviously intelligent when it comes to this stuff. Yeah, no, I mean, you go ahead and put Urs down for me in ninth because I'm a huge fan of Urs, obviously, and he has that intangible thing, like you were saying, that most of these guys don't have. That he loves bodybuilding so much he doesn't give a fuck about this. He's going in there. People have already kind of like he's like I'm qualified for Olympia. I'm just gonna go in there, have fun. I guarantee you, he's gonna put on a show. He's going to look insane. He's gonna have all the shape. He already has freaking all the size in there. He's got the momentum, and he's going to bring a new level of kind of showsmanship. Where I think these kind of tired looks, let's just say William and Brandon, he's going to just overpower. I believe with his shape and just everything. He's going to come in there and he's going to be a threat in his first year. I really do think so. Even more so than Brett, who also came from Classic, obviously, since I don't have him in there.
I almost feel like I have Brandon and William in 9 and 10 out of respect. And it's like,
You do.
I'm almost struggling to I'm struggling to allow some of these other guys to beat him in my mind, especially Brandon.
yeah.
Now, even though I've never been a fan, I'm a fan of Brandon's physique in itself, but I've never been a fan of him winning an Olympia, to be honest. I just don't think that he was ever hard enough or ever separated enough. I wasn't a fan of his look at that show. But I feel like Brandon and William continue to show up every year at the Olympia and kind of surprise people with how good they look. And in my opinion, I'm not a fan of Earl's back double bicep. I think that he's got some narrow clavicles. Him and James Hollingshead seems to have that kind of same back double bicep look, and I think that's going to hinder him.
Yeah, Urs does. That backside does worry me, and a little bit on the side. But I just, when these guys come out, Urs demands attention. When he hits that front relax, it's like him and Andrew. it's when you see these guys, you're like, what the fuck?
Well, he's also he's a tall guy, so he's a dominating
Exactly.
presence.
Yeah.
And I mean, we saw like how big he actually is, So, who you got in 9?
I'm gonna go with Tonio in 9. I know he is on the smaller side, compare relatively compared to these guys, but fuck, man, he is so balanced.
He is
And
very
he's just
balanced.
got everything. The only thing I would, you could say is a little slight on him is maybe like the legs from the back. Man, like he's just got like the coolest fucking physique, and from the photos I've seen, like he seems to be in the best condition he's ever been. He's got some pretty gnarly glutes right now, and I know that's kind of that could go against him. Like he could be a little too small. If they're really trying to pull down and get condition, especially with him being a smaller stature guy. But I just think he's so balanced, and he's just got crazy look. Like those quads are so sweeping, and he's tiny waist, wine roll abs. It's just nuts.
10, Ian. I've got Brandon.
I put Reagan here.
I'm telling y'all are fucking dropping the ball there, but it's okay. Who you got, Liam?
I think he matches really well with the Jordan, Urs, Andrew, all these kind of big structure people.
I can't argue that.
I think he's right there. Thanks.
That's a good call out, Jordan. I think that's a good call out. Andrew, Jordan,
all those
Urs,
guys.
and Regan.
That's why I lined them up like that, because I feel like they all match really well.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
In 10th, I'm going to put Bonac. I know he is aging, but he's proved all year long that he can still hang. With the people he's lost to this year are all above him on this list. He hasn't slipped up and lost to any of these younger guys quite yet. So I think he's just so dense. He's definitely not as pretty as he used to be, but I think respect and from the IFBB as well. Like they're not going to let somebody who's who's been around so long just let him slip. I don't think.
I mean, at this point, both of you guys have a reigning Mr. Olympia champion outside of the top 10. So
yeah, I know.
All right,
he'll be in there. He'll be in there a couple spots.
So I got Tonio in 11, and I think it's really just comes down to structure. For me, anyways. What you got, Ian?
Yeah, I'll put Brandon here.
Liam?
I'm going to go Vito here.
That's one of the ones that I'm having a hard time with is Good Vito. I actually don't have him in my top 15, and I think that's a mistake, but I don't know where to put him.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it yet.
And I think that's part of my issue. I haven't seen him against anybody. Like, who have we seen him stand against?
I don't trust it.
Last year, and that was a pretty close show. And then he won? Did he win at the end of last year, or did he win sometime this year? I don't even remember when
he won in an overseas show, and I think he was competing against like Rubiel or somebody. I don't remember
either. I think him too. I think he's gnarly, man. He's just huge. I think he has, kind of like the same issues as Andrew. Like his posing is very poor. And I think, if he could fix that, I think he could definitely move up, several spots from where I have him at. I know his backside is a little weaker, but from the legs up, obviously, like he's got like probably the craziest legs overall in the whole show. Well, besides Rubiel, but the second craziest legs, I would say. Just he's detailed, they're big. And he comes in. He comes in good condition. I just think he doesn't do himself any favors when it comes to presenting himself. So that's why I have him all the way down here at 11.
All right, 12. I've got Akeem. I really want Akeem to place higher, but his back is going to hold him back drastically, and that's kind of why I have him and Urs next to each other. And I think Akeem. I think they have the same weakness, but I just think that Akeem is going to be bigger, and as long as he peaks well, we all know that Akeem is dangerous for a lot of people. I mean, that is what it is. So what do we got, Ian?
Put Tonio here. I like Tonio on
Antonio?
this spot.
Okay.
And I'm going to put Brandon here.
Brandon?
Yep. I think, I think last year was the best look he's had in a while. I know he started working with Justin Compton before the Olympia last year. I know he made that switch from Abdullah. But I just think he's getting up there in age, and with that happening, and his legs already being slight, and I just think they're going to continue to go on him. I think he's going to be crazy up top still, like he always is, and I just think his legs are going to be, and he's just going to look a little unbalanced, more so than usual.
Yeah. What you got, Ian? 13.
This is where I have Brett at.
Brett?
Yep.
Yeah, I had a problem putting Brett in 15th, but I don't like putting Jordan here either. It is what it is. All right.
Like I said, these are all just like almost like in just throwing darts.
Yeah, it's a struggle. Like I'm struggling to put half of these people where they are. So, Liam, what you got?
So I have a list written down here. I don't know if I might have to deviate from it here. Kind of struggling between Jordan and Akeem. I think Akeem is.
Give me a name. Shut up and give me a name.
I'll go with Jordan. I think what we saw earlier and just how balanced he is
very good. Very good, man. All right, 14.
Akeem.
I'll follow that up with Akeem as well.
Ooh, yeah. All right, 15.
That's Bonek for me.
Wild. With this crazy work, Ian. That's crazy. All right.
The dawn of a new era. This is the Olympia where we take out the old man Brandon. We take out Brandon and put William, put him out to the pasture. They're done. It's been great. It's been great watching them.
I can't imagine either one of them compete after this show, but we'll see.
Oh, I don't think so, man. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Unless they surprise us again and fucking Bonek's in top 7. Oh shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, fuck, there he is again, motherfucker.
All right, Liam.
I think I'm gonna have to go with the freak of freaks, Rubiel. I think he is just going to. I know he struggles with condition, but the 2 shows that he did this year that he won, I didn't think it was horrible, and I just think they're gonna see him and just go nuts because, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that video on Instagram of him the other day, his calves, but his calves are bigger than my quads. It's fucking insane. I just think he's such a freak that he's gonna end up placing somewhere.
I think he's an absolute freak. I think my biggest problem with him is I think he's put on his muscle tissue so fast that it's blurred his lines heavily, and I don't think he has good muscle belly separation. And because especially you're talking about packing on massive amounts of muscle in those legs, man, and it just you have almost no separation. They just look like big blobs to me, and they look cartoonish with how round and big they are. So I'm really not that big of a fan of his physique. I understand he's an absolute freak. It's insane. It's an insane look. And maybe, in 3 years, I'm talking about him like I talked about Nick today, I have no problems being wrong, but that's kind of where I stand today with him. So,
I think he's still a little unbalanced. Fuck. I don't know whose upper body you could put on those legs to make him balanced. I don't even think Prime Ronnie you could put him on there and that would be balanced.
All right, let's talk about Classic for a couple of minutes so we can hop off since it's getting late here. So, okay, I'm gonna go Mike. As much as I don't want to, as much as I really want Terrence to win, I don't think he's going to. I think Mike's muscularity is going to be a little too much, and Mike is peeled just like Terrence is. So that's why I have Mike.
Yeah. Mike is just going to be too tough to beat, assuming he makes this cap bullshit that's going
Yeah.
on. Because he really doesn't look like he fucking fits the
No,
fucking cap.
he's
He looks
not.
huge.
There's no fucking way he's
So
5'9", but okay.
so let's just say he is. Let's just say
We'll
there's
assume
some
he is, for
crazy
now.
drama where he has to dehydrate before and it fucks up his look and he places like 4. Assuming that might be a thing. We'll keep him there just because he just has great shape. He's fucking massive. And he's a fantastic poser. Like, he's a great poser. He knows how to like contort his massive ass physique to make him look classic. So I think he's the one to beat for sure.
Yeah, they got check-ins right now. Check-ins are
Are they?
live.
Their
Yeah,
check-ins
check-ins
are
are
live?
live. Yep.
Damn.
It's just fucking Bob talking right now, so
Fuck
don't
Bob.
log on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
that's the last
watch it.
thing I want to listen to.
All right,
Fucking
Liam.
Bob. I'm gonna go with Terrence. Yeah, I just think he's just so perfect, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
I think we all want him to win because he's just been doing it for so long,
100%,
and C-Bum has just been so dominant that you can't do anything about it. But Terrence
he's the
has
only
time.
guy. He's the only guy who's like
Who's been there since the original.
beating everybody.
Breon.
Yeah, he beat C-Bum before C-Bum
Yeah,
even won or competed.
Went to Olympia. Yeah. Oh, fucking Breon.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about him too. All right. So I'm going to go, this is where I'm going, Terrence. Hey, man, I think I told Liam this the other day, or maybe I told Kobe, I don't remember. But Terrence has always been one of my favorite classic guys. He is so well put together. He's so balanced. He's got like, to me, Chris always had that like it factor, whatever it was, I don't know. But Terrence has always been so beautifully put together, like the right muscle belly insertions, the right everything, right? He's just never been big enough.
Just small, yeah.
And so he's always been like, he's always had my favorite physique in that regard. But I'm hoping that, I really, really do hope that he wins, but I just don't think it's going to happen this year. I think he needs a little bit more size first.
Yeah.
Ian?
Yeah, Terrence. He kind of has like that the old 1970s where Arnold was dominating for so long and everybody was like, "Oh, I love Frank Zane's physique."
Yeah.
He was a smaller guy, but he was the aesthetic guy for that era. He eventually did win that Olympia for one time, but it was very clear he's undersized. At the same time here, like, if there is any sort of issue with Mike making the cap, or he does make the cap, or he has to do something crazy to make the weight cap, or something happened during those last couple of days, Terrence can easily come in there and take it.
Yep. I agree.
And that's really what I'm banking on. I'm really banking on. I like Mike a lot too. I just think that this whole height weight thing has been a little bit too much of an issue, and I think that he somehow has been sneaking into the weight cap somehow, and I think they're going to hammer it on him a little bit, so he might have to do a little bit more peaking strategies, a little bit different, and it might fuck up the look that they're going to go for, and Terrence will sneak in and he'll take that.
Yeah.
Liam?
Mike, yeah. I do have a question for you guys real quick. This is obviously like the Olympia, the biggest show, but at, other shows, you miss weight and then you can compete in another category. You think they would let Mike compete in the 212 if he misses weight or he can't make weight?
No, I don't.
I don't think they will either.
I don't. And I say that because of what they wouldn't allow Clarita to compete in both classes. And so I guarantee you, if Clarita had missed weight, he went in there with the intentions of competing 212. I don't know that they would have allowed him to compete in open.
But he was qualified in both, so I think they probably
might have made an exception. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's the Olympia, right? And you're not making last minute changes to such a large production. You know what I mean?
It's a standard production too, so they're not gonna play no games.
No. Yeah. All right, Ian.
Josima third. I fucking love this physique. He is going to be peeled. He has shape, and I think he's one of those guys that's gonna just really surprise a lot of people. Well, not really surprise a lot of people, but I think he's gonna be very impressive.
What's his Instagram?
It's Jose, so it's with an E.
Jose Beast.
It's with the what? Did you say, Liam?
JOSEMA.
EMA. Okay.
Yeah, beast.
I think his real name's Jose, and then like his middle
Jose,
name is M something, and they just call him Josema or something.
Yeah, for the fact that this guy is like 23, the amount of detail and graininess and is
He's
just
23.
Yeah, dude.
fucking
Fuck him.
retarded. He is going to be a very big problem.
It's so crazy that he came. No kidding. It's so crazy he came from Open too. You know, like before 2 years ago, he was an Open who got fourth at a show, like as a 21-year-old.
There's no way he stays in Open. I mean, he stays in Classic.
I think he can. I think he can just continue to refine that. Obviously, I don't know where the weight cap for him and where that's all sitting, but I think he's a real threat.
I got Ramon in third myself, but I think he's looking at his best. And I heard the other day on a podcast, Jose Raymond, who's obviously really close with Chris Aceto, said that he's at 2 weeks out, he's the closest he's ever been to his weight cap. So I think I'm hoping that means, we don't have a replay of last year where he was kind of a mess. And I can't remember if it was last year or a couple of years ago. I remember he did miss weight and he had to go back and do some shit before to make weight. So hopefully that's not the case this year.
Yeah. I got Josema in fourth. Josema.
Seba. You could put Ramon fourth. I'm not a big fan of him, but you can put him in.
I'm not a big fan of his physique either, but if
then hopefully he gets the fuck out of Classic.
Yeah, history kind of it tells us that he's going to be top 5 at least.
He'll be in there, so I'll have to put him in there.
I'm going to put Josema in fourth. I just think from the backside, I know Logan's peeled, but I mean, it's just different.
They are both peeled to the bone, but I think Josema is just bigger, and I think I think that's what's going to have it over on him because I've got Logan in fifth. Yeah,
you got what? Oh, you got Logan in fifth.
Yeah, I got Logan in fifth. I'm if we wanted to do 6, I've got Breon in sixth, but
yeah, let's do 6 because I think all of our top 5 will be the same. I think 6 will be different. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right, 5 and 6, Ian.
Yeah, I'm doing Menegate 5.
Got the
Menegate, fucking another fucking phenom freak physique.
He's super young too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's also there's this crop of these classic guys that are just fucking nuts.
I gotta pay a little bit more attention to classic because I'm really like
they're fucking tough.
I couldn't pick Menegate or Fabian out of a lineup, to be honest.
Am I going 6-2 or okay?
You can if you would like, or
I'm gonna go One Punch Man. Nile.
Oh.
One Punch Man.
No way.
One Punch.
No way. Nile beats. It's with 2 L's, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it 2 L's?
What you got, Liam?
I'm gonna go Logan, and I'm also gonna go Nile in 6.
I saw a video of him today, and I just think he's still too small. I think that when he's standing next to, I even think that Logan's going to make him look a little bit small, a little bit on the thin side. Breon, I have to put Breon here because Breon, for some reason, just seems to be holding the fuck on. Even though, truthfully, I'm not a fan of his physique in Classic, I think that he needs to add more tissue to really get like the full. I also don't like the way he poses his front double bicep. He puts his leg way too far out. It's ugly. But he's I don't think he's made it out of the top 5 since 2016. So
yeah, definitely a solid. That's a reliable pick. I just love the way Nile's put together. I think he's got a crazy taper. I think his quads are going to make Breon's look very small. And I think
he's nuts.
I think that's where Breon really has, again, like kind of what I mentioned with Brandon. He's just getting older, man. I think he's literally 45 years old or something.
That. He is. I don't know why he's still going.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to do 212. He's like, classes.
So he said the reason that he's not doing 212 is because he had he'd done a bunch of travel and stuff. And then he had let too much time pass before he started to put on muscle tissue before focusing on an actual off season. So he was like, I literally just dropped the ball and didn't put on any muscle tissue. So he's coming back into Classic, and I think that's the only reason he's competing in Classic this year. But to me, it's like Breon kind of gets on my nerves because he thinks he's going to win again, and it's like a delusion thing, in my opinion.
Maybe he just didn't do 212 because he saw what was happening in 212 and was like, all right, maybe I got a better chance at placing top five.
It's nauseating what's happening in 212. So, yeah.
He's not. I heard he's going to have a hard time making weight, too. He's like 217 the other day.
Oh, yeah, I saw a video. Yeah.
201 last.
But it's only 5 pounds. I mean, for a guy with that much muscle tissue, like he should be able to pull 5 pounds off and not have a problem because he's weighing in today and they compete on Friday, right? 212 does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are they really weighing? They're all weighing in tonight.
Check-ins are right now.
Oh damn! I thought it was 24 hours. That's awesome.
No, they typically give them a little bit more.
That's great. Yeah. I'm really glad to hear that. I think those extra 12 hours will make a difference.
Feed them up.
All right, boys, I'm going to save this. Do we have anything else that we want to touch on before we head out? I'm getting hungry, so good.
I'm talking about being hungry with Ian, who just did a show last week. I'm sure he's fucking starving right now.
I'm trying to calm myself down. I have a cream of rice in the freezer. It's waiting for me.
Dude, I've had to piss for like 30 minutes. So
yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm sweat over here.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I could have paused it, dude. You could have gone pee.
Like, good.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make my first appearance. I didn't want to have to
run to the fucking bathroom.
Exactly. Special.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up another episode of For the Love of Bodybuilding. Let us know what your picks are in the comments. Otherwise, have a great Olympia. We'll be back to talk about the results afterwards.
Yeah.